Hey Pisces, and welcome to your December 2016 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully another really amazing transcending reading for your month ahead. Before I start on your reading, I wanted to update you guys on some of the changes that will be happening on my channel and on my shop. So first of all, for my channel, I'm planning on doing an Introduction to Tarot series with the turn of the new year, where I talk about my experience with the tarot. I talk about the wisdom and experience and, the knowledge that I've gained, all the archetypes, potentially individual cards. If that's something that interests you guys, please like or comment on this video, and I would love to know that it's something that my audience wants. Also, I will be raising my rate on my shop that I charge for private readings, and the reason that I'm doing that is because of the volume of clients who have been seeking out private readings with me and how busy my schedule will be in January. So it was just that time. But I did want to say, if you guys want to jump over to my shop now and book a reading with me, you will retain that rate for all your future readings, because I always allow that my clients retain the rate that they seek me out at. I think that that's fair. So again, jump over to my shop if that's something that interests you. If you would like to retain my current rate, which is $65 for 30 minutes of pre-recorded video or 45 minutes of face-to-face Skype consultation. Alright, and without further ado, I think that I'm ready to check out some of the archetypes that you guys will be seeing in December. Let's see what's coming forward. So you guys have two major arcana cards in your reading, and they're right in the center. They're Temperance and the Lovers, which is it's a nice combination of energies, although it can feel a bit heavy. It's going to be a very karmic month for you guys, I believe. Temperance is in the reverse, which says to me that there may be some things that aren't very fluid in your life, or things that don't feel like they're fluctuating freely. Like, you feel really hardened, you feel like you can't change your circumstances, because Temperance is all about change too, in my opinion. It's all about the changes that take place once you establish a really nice balance, whether that be physical or spiritual, in your life. And it's like that isn't coming through for you. It's like perhaps you experienced vicariously through someone else a very difficult situation, and it's led you to kind of lose your own sense of balance. That's what I see about the Lovers and Temperance together like that. Because the Lovers is all about, like, vicarious experience. Like learning something about yourself through someone else's actions, or someone else, like, doing the same, learning about themselves through you. It's also very faded. It's very, like, you feel like potentially you're not in control. That could also be with the Temperance in reversed. It's like there's a lack of control feeling, and Pisces tend to struggle with this a lot in their lives. You are by nature a very fluid, like probably the most fluid of the zodiac signs, because you're mutable water energy. So when things start to feel hardened, like they can with Temperance in reversed, when things start to lose that balance, it can be very kind of a scary occurrence for you, Pisces. But a really strong message that's coming forward is that this is fate. Like, there's something very fated about the way that your life is right now. So if you can just maintain a bit of fluidity and fluctuation within yourself, within your own energy, then the universe will take the wheel and kind of put you where you belong, which is good for Pisces. Like, Pisces a lot of times don't like to be decision makers, a lot of times don't like to be in control. There's a bit of a distinction there, though, because whereas Pisces is very fluid and can generally flourish in whatever environment you put them in, that can be scary to them too. And so this is kind of where we see a big paradox that is within the sign of Pisces, is, a fear of too much control, but also a fear of losing it completely. So they're always struggling with a control balance, and that's definitely coming forward in December for you guys, because Temperance and the Lovers are all about control, vicarious control, and fate, and directions, and feeling like your life is like you're being energetically controlled, and you kind of feel like a puppet in a way. Some Pisces are feeling like puppets. I definitely think that's possible. And maybe that's coming from a bit of an inability to control your emotional reactions to certain things. Whenever temperance comes into the reverse, sometimes you see like an uneven temperament, I think is a good interpretation of the energy of temperance reversed. And this, I'm not so much talking about your emotional reaction like outwardly. I'm talking about the way that you like handle that inwardly, because it's one thing to control the way that you react in front of people, but it's another thing to control the way that you react and the way that you allow that to internalize itself. And that's where I'm sensing that Pisces are struggling, not so much on the outer sphere with the emotional control, but on at the internal level. And it's like other people might not know you're going through what you're going through, and it's creating kind of a tension because people think things are better than they actually are for you, when in reality you're very unrested internally. So maybe you just need to have a dialogue with other people and kind of explain to them like why you're at where you are, and just kind of try to create more of a sense of empathy, and turn temperance face up where you have balance and you have like understanding, and everything emotionally is like a system and it works in your life. That's really what you're striving to achieve, I think, in December. And it is reinforced, but there's definitely a little bit of work to do. You've got the Four of Cups. There could be some like solitude that needs to occur. Maybe you need to be alone for a little while and, have a dialogue with yourself and understand, what's being built up in your life, the emotional constructs that you're building. Maybe it's time to look at how those are affecting yourself and others. Maybe it's time to, break out of that, because there's kind of always when I see the Four of Cups, and it's come up for a lot of signs this month. So I think it's just kind of a collective energy for a lot of people. So is Temperance. Temperance, the Nine of Cups and the Four of Cups and the King of Wands have come up for a lot of signs this month. So there's a lot of collective energy for sure. I think that a lot of Pisces are tired of being alone, but they kind of still know that they need to be. Like there's still so much that needs to be worked out. And even though you want to start over, you want to move into a new kind of social outward experience, you know that you can't do that until you kind of work through some of your own issues or your own, just like things that you've gone through in your life, that some of that needs to be worked on. And there needs to be some adaptability, like with the King of Wands. That's what I always say with the King of Wands, and I feel like I keep repeating myself because he's popped up in so many readings this month. The King of Wands represents a mature, adaptable, fiery energy. And what does that mean for you, Pisces? You're kind of familiar with that energy actually because you're a mutable sign. The Wands are all about the mutable energy. It's all about adaptation, creative process, that spark of energy that you get to then carry out in action. That's what the Wands are all about. So when you get the King of Wands, it's that very mature, elevated, masculine energy of creation, production, and adaptability. So I think that that's popped up in your reading to say that it would be very helpful for you to develop that in your own world. It would be very helpful to develop that in your relationships. Maybe you've taken too much of an emotional tone. Maybe you're kind of or maybe people are experiencing you as overly emotional right now. And that's not to say that you are. A lot of Pisces get misunderstood like that. Kind of the brooding, misunderstood archetype can apply a lot of times to Pisces. So make sure that you kind of watch out for that. Not that that's a bad thing, but sometimes we don't always know when we're projecting ourselves like that. Because once you guys get past all of this solitude, once you guys get past some of these more difficult energies that have come forward, like you guys have the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Wands, which are such great energies. You're going to see culminations start to come through with those energies. You're going to see some real good luck coming in. And these, regardless of what happens, these are in the peripherals of your life anyway. So even if you don't just make astounding progress at the internal world, you're going to see kind of just a sense of abundance and a sense of luck, which is going to be so great for you guys because you need it. You know, you've got this heavy universal energy coming in through the Lovers and Temperance. So the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Wands are going to be really helpful archetypes for you guys to experience right now. And the only potential negative that I can see from that is the Eight of Wands. The way it's faced in this reading, it's like it's shooting the opposite direction from everything else. So there might be kind of a desire for some Pisces to try to cover up some of their internal battle by really overbooking themselves, by really taking on too many projects, by potentially spending too much money, doing too many things so that they're distracted from what's actually happening at the internal level. Be careful for that. Be careful that you're not overspending or overtaxing yourself. That can be an interpretation of the Eight of Wands, especially when I see it pointing the opposite direction. When the wands are pointing the other, if it were on the other side of the reading, I would think that you guys would be given a lot of abundance by the universe to handle these problems. But since it's pointing the opposite direction and it's going towards, nothingness, it could represent that you might be trying to cope with something from the past by means of sensory egoic things that won't actually solve the problem. So watch out for that tendency in December. And something else I like to say for the King of Wands, to get back to that, is that I really love it when that card pops up, because out of all the court cards, there's something about the King of Wands or the whole wand suit that really tend to manifest as actual people in your life. I don't know what it is, but excuse me, by the way, I'm kind of losing my voice because all of these readings, so I'm sorry if I'm clearing my throat a lot. But the King of Wands tends to manifest, as I said, as a person a lot, and this person sometimes isn't in our life for a very long time. However, they really come in and make things click into place. I think that I said this potentially for Aquarius as well, because it looked to me to be the same for their reading. But this person can come into your life through that very warm, fiery, exciting, optimistic energy, and something that you've potentially been struggling for a long time in solitude, represented by the Four of Cups. They come in and they make things click into place through something that's not even related to the actual problem. And again, that can be with the Lovers too. This could be a romantic interest. There could be new romantic encounters for Pisces in December, for sure. I definitely see that with what's happening in this reading right here. And if you're curious, you can come over and book a private reading with me and see what all's going on. But as I was saying, this King of Wands will probably come into your life, and through something completely unrelated, something difficult for you from the past will click into place, and it's like you'll evolve out of it. All of a sudden it will click, and you will see things for how they actually were. You won't be delusional about anything. You won't be trying to fog up anything that actually happened, which, you're a Neptune ruled sign, so that can be a part of your tendency astrologically. But this can also be a little bit difficult, because sometimes when we figure out and we see how things actually were, it can be a bit of a harsh awakening sometimes, especially for Pisces, because sometimes, and you guys might not want to admit it, but sometimes you guys like to, fictionalize or make something a little bit nicer than it actually was. And that's for self-preservation, because Pisces tend to go through a lot. They tend to have a lot of emotional struggles in their life. So sometimes you need to do that as kind of a survival reaction. But there's also comes a period of time where you've got to realize things for the way that they were. And that's going to be a major theme for you guys in December. And beyond that, you guys are going to have lovely experiences with some great fiery energy. You're going to be blessed with some good luck through the Nine of Cups. You will also have abundance related by the shown by the Eight of Wands, but be careful about how you use it or how you spend it, because it could potentially go to things that are not conducive to your experience right now. All in all, you've got a lot of fate. You've got destiny entering into your life. The universe is on your side. It's giving you a karmic experience that will hopefully evolve you upwards even higher through the Lovers, through Temperance. And I really hope that it's a great month for you guys. I'm rooting for you. If you guys would like to jump over to my shop and book a reading with me, or if you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, I hope that you will, because I'm going to have a lot of really great, exciting content coming forward in January. And if you would like to support my channel, I'm so appreciative to all of your donations. It's so helpful to, keep the content coming. And I really hope this reading resonated for you guys. I wish you the best. Namaste.